and welcome to the Revolution Beauty YouTube channel. My name is Heather, also known as MakeupMouse, and today I'm going to show you how I created this autumnal makeup using the new brushes from Revolution Pro, available now on revolutionbeauty.com. So to start with a little bit of information about the brushes, they are all synthetic fibres, which means they are multi-use, so you can use them with creams, liquids, powders, they'll wash easily, and it also means that they are cruelty-free and vegan, which means that everyone can use them. The first thing that really drew my eye to them was this gorgeous monochrome design. The packaging all comes with a little bit of a description of what you can use them for. Then the brushes themselves look like this. We have a nice black ferrule, and the handles are a kind of matte metal, so they feel really comfortable in the hand. So first I'm going to go in with the Illustrator in the shade Advocate, which is a nice creamy white shade, and that will create a nice even base all over my eyes for the colours afterwards. This is a multi-use product, so you can use this on your eyes, lips, cheeks, anywhere you like. And now I'm just going to smooth that out all over my lids. Using the Revolution Pro 100. This is a nice flat brush with a pointed tip, so it's perfect for using with cream products on the eyes. So that leaves us with a nice even but also slightly sticky base, which will be perfect for adhering to the powders afterwards to get the most pigment out of them. So next up I'm going to start with the colours. I'm going to use this custom palette that I made using the Revolution Pro eyeshadow refills. So there's colours from a few different refill packs in here to create this lovely kind of warm autumn shade range, and then I've got my colour correctors at the bottom. So first for this I'm going to start with my middling shade. I'm going to go in with this orange colour, and because I really want to pack a punch I'm going to go in with the Pro 150 brush and pack that through the crease. With a really dense brush like this you can just stamp the colour onto that base and you'll get incredible payoff. Look at that pigment! If you can see, I'm not wiping the brush at all. I'm literally just tapping it across. I know it looks a bit crazy at the moment, but it will be blended out afterwards, don't worry. Next I'm going to pick up this yellow, and I'm just going to do the same thing around the outside edge of the orange to create a gradient. This time, rather than stamping, I'm taking it in tiny circular motions to start buffing out the edge of that colour. So now I want to deepen the crease even more, so I'm going to go in with the Pro 130 small, dense, round pointed brush. I'm taking this aubergine shade and I'm running that through the crease. And the point on this brush means that you can be super precise. Oh, look at these shades. Is that not just autumn in an eyeshadow? Okay, so next I want to make a cut crease, and for that I'm going to use the pigment pomade in the shade Hot Pink. I'm going to put in kind of raspberry colour over the top of it, but I want to have a nice bright base so that the pigment is nice and strong. And I'm going to use my Pro 100 small pointed flat brush again for that. So I'm just going to load up the brush and then pop that on my lid and start cutting out a new crease shape. And then using the same Pro 100 brush, I'm going to go into the Regeneration Astrological palette in the shade Rubble, this gorgeous rosy pink shade. Then next I'm going to take the shade Exoplanet and add that onto the inner portion of the lid. And the fact that the Pro 100 is so wide and yet thin means that you can cover the lid so quickly but still get those really sharp detailed edges. Okay, so that's the lids done. Now I'm going to go in with the Revolution Pro Ultrafine Gel Pencil in Blackest Black on the upper and lower waterline. And to start smoking out the eye, I'm just running that in between the lashes as well. Something about the winter months just makes me want to start wearing smoky eyes constantly. And I'm going to line my eyes using the Supreme Black Flick Liner to create a little wing. Okay, there's our liner. Now I'm going to buff out the lower liner using the Pro 140 Dense Smudger brush. I'm going to go in with this nice kind of cranberry shade up here. I've just loaded up my brush there. I'm just going to run that right along the lower lash line. Just hugs the lower lash line perfectly. So next I'm going to curl my lashes and apply some mascara. The mascara I'm using is the Mascara Revolution, and it is super volumizing. Okay, so next I'm just going to wipe away the fallout underneath my eyes. And there was surprisingly little, if you take a look, considering how bright the colours we were using were. Now you could easily leave the eyes like this, but I'm going to pop on some lashes just because I like them. So I'll return to you in just a second. Okay, and for the brows, I don't want this to be too strong because the eyes are so intense. So I'm going to go in with a nice soft taupe, and I'm using the Eyebrow Cushion Eyebrow Definer for this. You can see it has its own little compact, and you open the door and it's this liquidy product. And to apply it, I'm going to use the Pro 160 Angled Flat Brush. So I'm just lightly running that through the brows, just to create a little bit more definition and shape. And you can use the pointed part to create little hair strokes, or just use the whole thing flat to brush up and through the brows, really just to create the quickest brows that have ever existed. Okay, so that's it for the eyes. Now let's move on to the face. Okay, so first on the face, I'm going to correct some areas of discoloration that I have. So I get a little bit green around my mouth because I have an olive skin tone, and I get some little redness on my cheeks, and there's a little bit under here as well. So I'm going to take my colour correcting refills, and on the red areas I'm going to take the green tone, and around my mouth I'm going to take the purple. So these will neutralise those colours and allow the base that goes on afterwards to have to just do much less work. So I'm going to take the Pro 200 medium pointed flat brush, and first I'm going to take it into that green shade, just a little bit, and just place it over the areas where I get reddest. So this kind of looks like a traditional foundation brush, but it's actually a lot softer and it comes to a more pointed tip, which allows you to get a nice precise application over those areas, but also to spread out the product nice and thinly. Now here I have a little bit of a breakout, so I'm just popping the green over that area to neutralise it. And I also get a little bit red on my nose, so I'm going to pop a little bit of green on there. And then I'm taking the same brush again and going into that purple, just popping that around the areas that need it. Probably looks a little bit weird at the moment, but it will look normal once I put the foundation over it. So next I'm going to go into my foundation. I'm going to use the Revolution Pro Foundation Drops. Now this is very pigmented and I quite like a nice light coverage. So I'm going to drop a little bit onto my hand to warm it up and then apply it onto the skin and kind of build it up as I need to. And to apply the foundation, I'm using the Pro 230 Dense Buffing Brush. This is very soft and rounded at the edges, so you don't get any streaky marks. Working it into the skin like this makes a really nice skin-like finish, so it doesn't look like you're wearing a ton of makeup. It literally just makes your skin look even and kind of flawless. Just picking up a little bit more where I need it. Oh, and if I didn't mention, I used the Revolution Pro Foundation Drops in the shade F05 for this. Next, I'm just going to use a bit of concealer on any areas that the foundation didn't give enough coverage for, so basically just underneath the eyes. And I'm using the Revolution Pro Full Cover Camouflage Concealer for that in the shade C2. This is also a little bit lighter than my skin, so I'll get a little bit of highlighting in there. And I'm just taking the Pro 200 again, and just working that into the brush, and I'll just pop that under areas that I need it. Just using the flat of the brush to smooth out that concealer. Okay, and now I'm going to powder my base strategically using the Pro 250 Pointed Fluffy Brush and the Revolution Pro Pressed Finishing Powder. I'm just going to use a tiny bit on the pointed tip of this brush and just run that underneath my eyes is the main bit that I want to cover. So that's where I crease the most. So for the rest of the face, I'm just going to use a tiny amount and just rush it over very, very lightly. So the good thing about this is you can use the pointed part to really get underneath the eyes, but then use the fluffy side of the brush to powder over the rest of the skin. I'm just going to use the same brush to apply a little bit of bronzer, just warming up the edges of the face and giving us a little bit more definition. It blends everything out nicely because the brushes are so soft. Okay, next I want to add a little bit more life to the face again, so I'm going to use the Revolution Pro Skin Finish in the shade Luminescence, and I'm going to take that on a Pro 320 large fan brush. I'm just going to run that on the high planes of the face. This is quite a skin-like highlighter, but it creates a lovely kind of glow from within. And with this kind of fan brush, you can really just sweep it along the cheekbones and it does most of the work for you. And just take the end of it and run it down the middle of the nose as well, and on the cupid's bow and on the chin. Okay, so I've also just enhanced my natural freckles using the Eyebrow Cushion in Taupe, which is actually the perfect colour for freckles. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Okay, so that's our skin done, and now I'm going to go into the lips, and I just want a nice easy nude, so I'm going to go in with the Supreme Gloss Lip Pigment in the shade Turnabout. And these have the pigmentation of a liquid lipstick, but a nice comfortable glossy texture. Okay, and to set everything in place, I'm going to use the Supreme Hold Finishing Spray to lock it all down. And here we have the finished look using all Revolution Pro brushes. I've got to say, I'm so impressed by the quality of these. They feel so nice in the hand and they're so incredibly soft on the skin. So if you're looking to improve your brush game, make sure to check these out on revolutionbeauty.com. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys very soon. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, of course. See you later. Bye!